In the headlines, the party committees of Ninh Kiều and Thống districts review work implementation in the first 6 months of the year and disseminate the work program for the last 6 months of 2022. The great recovery of tourism activities in Cần Thơ city after the COVID-19 pandemic. The CGIAR initiatives for securing the food system of Asia's mega deltas for climate and livelihood resilience. Hello, it's great to see you back here in this edition of Cần Thơ News, the English news program of Cần Thơ radio and television station, and top news today. The conference of the Extended Executive Board of Ninh Kiều District Party Committee to review the work implementation in the first 6 months of the year and disseminate the work program for the last 6 months of 2022 took place on June 28 morning with Standing Vice Secretary of Cần Thơ Municipal Party Committee, cum Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Council Phạm Văn Hiếu attending and delivering directive speech. In the first 6 months of the year, Ninh Kiều District admitted 84 new party members, accounting for 76% of the plan. The work of inspection and supervision was carried out frequently with the mass mobilization work of the party, the authority, and the democratic disciplines at grassroots level well implemented. The district's economy continues to develop stably with total retail sales and income from services standing at over 398.9 trillion Vietnam dong, up by 22.58% year-on-year. The value of industrial and cottage industrial output increased nearly 10% against the previous year. Budget collection was over 550 billion Vietnam dong, exceeding the target assigned by the People's Council by 4%. The disbursement of basic construction capital stood at over 169 billion Vietnam dong out of the annual capital amount of 365.688 billion Vietnam dong. Regarding tourism, the district welcomed over 1,767,000 visitors, up by 3.4% year-on-year. COVID-19 pandemic has been basically controlled, with COVID-19 vaccination rate for people aged from 18 and above at 99.83%. Jobs have been created for over 5,000 laborers in the past 6 months. In his directive speech at the conference, Standing Vice Secretary of the Municipal Party Committee cum Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Council Phạm Văn Hiếu asked Ninh Kiều District Party Committee's Executive Board to focus on the work of party building and political system building, promptly coordinate with the Municipal Party Committee's Propaganda and Education Board and concerned agencies to give comments on the Municipal Party Committee's resolution to develop Ninh Kiều District and other works related to public investment capital disbursement and ensuring security and order. Implement budget collection solutions, ensure budget revenue to meet and exceed the assigned targets in 2022, strictly manage budget revenue and expenditure, ensure thrift and combat wastefulness in budget use, while implement measures to prevent revenue loss, promote exploitation, increase revenue, develop new revenue sources, accelerate construction progress, implement the disbursements of capital for construction works, settle payment for completed projects, strengthen inspection and supervision of construction quality, ensure strict compliance with regulations. Above were the directions given by Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Committee Chương at the conference to review 6 months' work in 2022 of Thống District Party Committee that took place on June 28. In the past 6 months, Thống District has fully implemented and grasped all resolutions, directives and regulations to the party at all levels. The socio-economic situation continued to develop stably with the value of all fields increased. Total economic value in the first 6 months of the year increased by 5.6% over the same period. The locality has also supported nearly 10 billion Vietnam dong in taking care of policy classified families, families of social protection, poor and near poor households, and families in difficult circumstances. Job counseling has been done for nearly 4,000 employees, reaching 78.36% of the plan. Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Committee Chương suggested that the locality focus on applying solutions to achieve and exceed the targets of the resolution of the party committee, especially the ones related to budget revenue, capital disbursements for construction, mobilizing health insurance participation, rural transport, and building schools up to national standards. Also on June 28 morning, Director of Cần Thơ Statistics Office Lê Ngọc Bảy chaired a press conference to announce the city socio-economic statistics for the first 6 months of 2022. According to the statistical report for the first 6 months of 2022, the city's gross domestic product is estimated to increase by 8.04% over the same period. This is the highest growth rate of the city within 3 years, in which the production of agriculture, forestry, and fishery was favorable. Industrial production increased by 12.68% over the same period. Commercial and service activities have gradually become vibrant again. Total retail sales of goods and income from services both increased over the same period last year. The average price index in 6 months increased by 3.13% compared to the average of the same period. State budget revenue reached 53.49% of the estimate assigned by the Ministry of Finance and the City People's Council. Total outstanding loans increased by 10.43% compared to the beginning of the year, meeting the capital requirements for production and business, among others. The average consumer price index, or CPI, increased by 3.13% compared to the same period last year. In order to ensure the successful implementation of the Socio-Economic Development Plan in accordance with the 2022 plan set out at the beginning of the year, Director of the Statistics Office of Cần Thơ City Lê Ngọc Bảy said that more efforts are needed from all branches, levels, and localities. The development of the tourism industry of Cần Thơ City in the first 6 months of 2022 has more than doubled that of the previous year. This shows the great recovery of the tourism activities in Cần Thơ City after the COVID-19 pandemic. Specifically, in the first 6 months of 2022, Cần Thơ City welcomed over 3.1 million visitors in total, increasing by 55% year-on-year. Total income is estimated at 2,042 billion Vietnam dong, up by 60% year-on-year. Apart from sacred destinations like the Home King's Temple, Trúc Lâm Phương Nam Zen Monastery, Cantonese Assembly Hall, which is commonly known as Chùa Ông or Bình Thủy Temple, ecotourism sites like Phi Yến Orchard, Ông Đề, Mỹ Khánh, Cồn Sơn or Sơn Islet, or the floating market are also tourist favorite attractions. Notably, Ninh Kiều Walking Street, with its many cultural and art activities, both modern and traditional, also attracts thousands of visitors. Moving on other news. On June 28 in Cần Thơ City, the Consultative Group for International Agricultural Research, or CGIAR, coordinated with Vietnamese and Cambodian partners to organize a conference to launch the CGIAR initiatives for securing the food systems of Asian mega deltas for climate and livelihood resilience, or AMD for short. Deputy Chief of the Crop Production Department of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development Lê Thanh Tùng and over 70 delegates from concerned agencies attended the function. The AMD initiative aims to create resilient, inclusive, and productive deltas which maintain socio-ecological integrity, adapt to climatic and other stressors, and support human prosperity and well-being by removing systematic barriers to the scaling of transformative technologies and practices in community, national, and regional levels. Accordingly, the initiatives will take place in 3 mega deltas of Asia, including the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta in Bangladesh and India, the Irrawaddy Delta of Myanmar, and the Mekong Delta in Vietnam and Cambodia, where 177 million people are living and 36 of which are poor people. To achieve this target, CGIAR centers and their partners will focus on prioritized work packages like adapting deltaic production systems, nutrition-sensitive deltaic agri-food system, de-risking delta-oriented value chains, and evidence-based delta development planning, among others. At the conference, the delegates shared their ideas to effectively implement the AMD initiative. In celebration of the Vietnamese Family Day on June 28, the Women's Union of Cần Thơ City organized a festival of women's creative startup and the contest of Cần Thơ women saving energy to protect the environment. The Festival of Women's Creative Startups is among the series of activities to celebrate the Vietnamese Family Day on June 28, which includes activities like the contest of Cần Thơ women saving energy to protect the environment, commending and awarding women excelling in the contest of Vietnamese women be confident in doing business, the online contest of women succeeding in doing business, and commending 20 households with disabled women overcoming difficulties to build a happy families, as well as signing the contract for the consumption of startup products of female members. In addition, 26 exhibition booths also joined this event to introduce women's startup products to visitors. The activities of the festival are an opportunity for sharing experiences in the startup movement, at the same time reaffirming the women's role both in the family and in the society. And now let's have a look at weather updates. Weather information has also wrapped up today's edition of Cần Thơ News. To watch the bulletins one more time, you can log on to our website at kênthtv.vn. And now, thank you very much for being with us. Goodbye and see you next time.